was some guy playing Batesville.
Hey everybody, my name is Bobby. Welcome to Mile High Church. Thank you so much for spending a part of your weekend with us, especially if you're new. Our vision, Oneness Revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. Our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. Before we get started today, we want to give you a look at a few things coming up around Mile High Church for you and your family. Join Dr. Patty for the second half of Life class on August 5th. This is a transformative journey of spiritual renewal and deep self-discovery during the later years of life. And Jessie Powers is here on August 17th, so be sure to stick around for her inspiring concert. Hang out with your friends, get some food from a food truck, and enjoy some great tunes.
Hey, I want to tell everyone about two awesome things that happen every Wednesday. One, for online folks, Mile High Insight. It's just a few minutes of a sharing from a Mile High minister, followed by some prayer and meditation that releases every Wednesday morning. And then back on campus every Wednesday starting at 6:40 p.m., midweek renewal. It's an evening of spiritual practice that includes a minister message, music, meditation, prayer, forgiveness, ritual, community, and cookies. Hope to see you there.
For more information about anything you've heard today, stop by the Event Center or connect with us online at milehighchurch.org.
Good morning, Mile High Church family. Stand if you are able. You can do it. This is a dancing number and a call and response. So I'll sing and you'll sing what Rob is singing. And I think we got the lyrics. Wow, you look good this morning. Here we go. I got love, I've got peace, I've got joy flowing like a river. I've got love, I've got peace, I've got joy flowing like a river. One heart, one mind, one love flowing like a river. I've got hope, I've got strength, I've got faith to move every mountain. I got hope, I've got strength, I've got faith to move every mountain. One heart, one mind, one love to move any mountain. Take it away, Randy. What? I got you. Woo! I got me. I've got us coming together. I got you. I got me. I got us. We're coming together. One heart, one mind, one love. We're coming together. One heart, one mind, one love. We're coming together. Last time. One heart, one mind, one love. We're coming together. Yeah.
Good
morning.
Good morning. Hey, do you want to introduce our guest artist for the day before we start?
I do, Dr. Michelle. I was so
Okay.
enraptured by the song. We have the spectacular Annalisa Lemming with us this morning. Wait till you hear these songs and Dr. Michelle's talk. It's a wonderful morning
It's going to be a wonderful morning. Thank you. Great music, great start. Good morning, Mile High Church. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our community. Welcome to those of you in our sanctuary. Welcome to those of you watching online. We're delighted to have you with us. I was grateful yesterday to participate in a retreat, and at one point in the retreat, we were all invited to start our day by presencing ourselves to something in our life that when we first experienced it was fantastic, and now we're so used to it, we might be tempted to be taking it for granted. So I invite us to do that this morning, to think about something, someone. It could be something you love, your home, your car, your job. It could be the person you live with when you first met them, how excited you were to be with them. It might be some condition of your life, some status of health or well-being. And just take a moment with me and just open your heart to, I remember how much I loved and appreciated that when it first arrived. And I'm going to love and appreciate it again, right here, right now. And so we take that opportunity to open our hearts and to be totally present in that heartful space. And maybe if something didn't come to mind for you in this, you can watch throughout the service. Something might just pop into awareness. And if it does, just take a deep breath and take a moment to be in appreciation. Appreciation is one of the doorways into the divine. And so I invite us now to appreciate this beloved community and the vision and mission that drives it as we say the vision and mission together. So please join me as we speak aloud our vision. Oneness revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. We just appreciate the opportunity to remember the truth of who we are and what we're here to do together. We're going to head into spiritual practice right now, our normal practice of singing together in silence. It's Practitioner Awareness Month, and so we're grateful to have a longtime practitioner, key member, and participant in our church. Carol Swanson is going to do our opening prayer for us. So let's sit back, take a deep breath, and open ourselves to receive the good of this prayerful moment together.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can sense it and feel it and know that I am immersed in it. So I invite us all to just take a deep breath and breathe in the awareness. God is here. And we are here, each of us in our own unique and wonderful way. We come seeking, whether it be inspiration, answers, guidance, to be a gift, whatever our purpose in being here this day. I know that this service has been designed to create that energetic field where the heart is open and the mind is at ease so that we can receive. I give thanks for Dr. Michelle and for her beautiful message this day, for I know it is Spirit speaking through her. And so it touches us in a deep way. Everyone is welcome here, regardless of what calls us, regardless of what path we walk, regardless of what faith we may come from. We are all part of the one. And without each one of us, this beautiful picture of life would be missing one piece. So I just accept that we can really drop deep into that place of knowing the truth of who we are, and that we just allow that joy and that love that is part of our being, our innate nature, to vibrate out from us through this community, out into the world. That our willingness to stand in the truth of who we know we are, regardless of what's going on, that is our gift back to the world. So now we just know that as we stand in calm confidence, that when God is in charge, all is well. And so we just release and let go. And so it is.
I empty myself over again. Nothing to be or to achieve. Simple, beautiful clarity. I lay down my sword at your feet. Spirit, move me. Where would you have me go? Spirit, show me. What do I need to know? I surrender it all, can't fight anymore. Take me in your arms and teach me the nature of love. I am reborn, my heart is open wide, flowing with grace through time and space. Finally, I feel my place. I lay down my sword at your feet. Spirit, move me. Where would you have me go? Spirit, show me. What do I need to know? I surrender it all, can't fight anymore. Take me in your arms May the light of my soul keep guiding me home. Spirit, move me. Where would you have me go? Spirit, show me. What do I need to know? I surrender it all. Can't fight anymore. Take me in your arms and teach me the nature of love, of love, of love, of love.
This is the month to recognize our precious practitioners. And a practitioner of religious science is licensed as a spiritual guide dedicated to offer affirmative prayer. And this practice focuses on providing compassionate support, transformative perspective to assist others in healing and improving their spiritual lives. Dr. Ernest Holmes, he wrote, "Through prayer, we recognize a higher power and consciously unite with it. And in so doing, we are transformed. We pray not to change God, but to change ourselves. And when we change our thoughts, we change our experience." Emmett Fox, he shares, that prayer is the most powerful action a person can take. It changes you. As you change, your world changes. And from Joel Goldsmith, in the silence of prayer, the illusion of separation disappears, and we behold the kingdom within.
Everything has its season, everything has its time. Show me a reason and I'll soon show you a rhyme. Cats fit on a windowsill, children fit in the snow. Why do I feel I don't fit in anywhere I go? Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. Everyone has their daydream, everyone has their goal. People love the way dreams have of sticking to their soul. Thunderclouds have their lightning, a nightingale has their song. And don't you see, I want my life to be something more than long. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the sky. So many people seem destined to settle for something small, but I will not rest until I know I'll have it all. So don't ask where I'm going, just listen when I'm gone. And far away, you'll hear me singing softly night to the dawn. Rivers belong where they can ramble. Eagles belong where they can fly. I've got to be where my spirit can run free. Gotta find my corner of the
Oh, Annalisa Lemming, beautiful job. Thank you so much. It's great to have you here today. And thank you to our band, to Rob, and to Mark, and to Bijou, and to Randy. Great job on the guitar today. That was lovely. Thank you, thank you. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. And Laura Berman, too. She was singing in there earlier. Let's give thanks to Laura Berman. Yes. Well, today, my message is called Spellbound No More. The truth about that I shall confess, is that this is a working title I'm using for my next book, Spellbound No More. Yes, I'm looking forward to the writing experience, and it's really born out of the conversation that I want to have in this book about how many things capture us and essentially become spells, if you will. Ideas and mental equivalents, as our founder Ernest Holmes called them, and beliefs and attitudes and energies that are not of the highest and best for us. Often those spells that we get caught up in, I call them little rabbit holes, where we fall into our little rabbit hole of energy and often negativity, and we're stuck in the rabbit hole, and we can't see anybody else's rabbit hole, and we're just in there kind of rolling around in frustration or anxiety or anger or judgment or whatever it might be, and we get so caught up in it that it's really challenging to break the spell. It becomes a habit of mind, a habit of being, a habitual way of perceiving the world. And so spells can be kind of negative like that at times. But spells can also be positive. We can cast a spell of love and positivity in our lives. In fact, many people think of spells and immediately think of something negative, think of things like witches who cast spells, and even the Wiccan tradition. I actually did a little research on how does the Wiccan tradition use spells. We are essentially an interfaith community that loves to celebrate the wisdom of all faiths, right? Well, the Wiccans define a spell as a ritual designed to access and direct the universe's power to manifest a specific intention. It is a sacred act, similar to a prayer where one connects with their inner divinity to influence the world around them. Wiccans use spells as tools for positive change, aligning their will with the natural world and their desired outcomes. That sounds a little familiar, doesn't it? Maybe there's some alignment there. And see, the way that it works is the creative process, which we often refer to as the law, or the creative energy that flows through each one of us and is activated by the power of our word or our spells that we cast, does not demand that we only cast positive spells. We are free to cast as many negative spells as we want. However, we will experience the result of that choice unconditionally. We will experience the constant reality of what we're casting in our word and our thought and our energy always. And the universe says, yes, my beloved, as you wish. So it really becomes a matter of choice. What kind of spells do I want to cast? And what kinds of spells is it time for me to break? Am I caught up in a spell that's no longer serving me, and maybe even in a spell that's no longer serving my world or the world that I share with other human beings? Because what I'm sure of is that casting constant spells of negativity and anger and judgment and separation will not solve the problems that we face collectively or individually. So it really becomes a matter of, are we willing to make a shift and begin to cast new spells and not be bound by these negative ideas and negative ways of living? And I'm going to flip my general practice a little bit today. Usually I will state the issue and then I will talk to us towards the end about how we can solve this. And I'm going to talk first now about ways we can solve or cast new spells, if you will, and then talk about two of the spells that I think most capture humanity that are not serving us. So the ways that we begin to break a spell or have a spell we're under begin to be lifted and shift, the first step is you got to recognize you're caught up in it. You got to be willing to say, oh yeah, there I go being negative again. There I go being all afraid again. There I go being all judgy again. You've got to see it. We've got to be able to see the pattern that we're caught up in and become aware of it. Awareness is the first step. Awakening is the first step. Looking around at myself and saying, okay, there I go doing it again. That is the first step. And it's a very important step. Because most of the time, the reason that these things keep activating in our lives is we're just not aware of it. And then we say, why does this keep happening to me? Because we're unwilling to look at how it is we might be being a part of that negativity that is out picturing itself in our world. So once we acknowledge it or see it, become aware of it, then we get to decide, is it time to break this spell? Is it time to cast a new spell? Or do I want to keep living this way? Maybe lack and limitation, yeah, that's kind of fun. I like it. Let's do it. I'll take more of that. How about that? No, I agree with you, Sherry. No. I'm going to choose to do something different with it. I'm going to have a new thought, a new idea. So we decide to break it. And then once we've made that decision comes the hard part, because it becomes practice. Practicing catching ourselves in it, practicing breaking it, practicing coming up with new ideas and new possibilities about how I can be different in the midst of the same circumstances, the same conditions, the same headlines, the same experience. And then the next step is forgiving myself when my practice isn't perfect, because it won't be. Anyone who is endeavoring to lift themselves up above and beyond some of these negative spells we fall prey to is going to have moments of triumph and moments of challenge. And the work is always to keep practicing, to keep starting over the minute I catch myself caught up in it again. And to see that I'm caught up in it again and doing it over and over and over again until something new begins to emerge in my life. So those become the steps. And here are two spells that I'm inviting us to consider breaking in our lives. They're big ones too. When I listed all the spells that I might want to write about in my book, I discovered that most of them fall into one of these two categories. And so due to time, I'm only bringing those two to you today, okay? But they're big ones, they're important ones. The first one is the spell of hatred/judgment. Hatred and judgment. These spells are challenging spells. We seem often to feel very righteous to hate or judge certain things, certain people, certain experiences that are going on, to judge or to make wrong. But I would suggest to us that this spell not only creates an outcome in our life and a ripple that continues that energy, it's not good for us. It's toxic. It's not good for our bodies. It's not good for our souls. It's not good for our minds. It's not good for our hearts. It's not good for any part of us. And yet we keep finding ourselves possibly participating in this collective spell. And I suggest that we wake up to it, and it's time to consider setting an intention to break that spell in our lives. This last week, I was really honored to get to speak to Valerie Kaur, who's going to be with us here in October. She's written a number of books. I think her most recent and popular book is See No Stranger, and she's going to be speaking here October 3rd, and I was interviewing her for our marketing team so that we have some things that we can show you about her message. And one of the things that I love about Valerie is that she articulates what she calls extending love in 3 directions. So the opposite spell from hatred and judgment is the willingness to cast the spell of love in my life. To consider love as a solution, love as a possible way of being instead of my hatred and judgment. And the 3 ways that Valerie suggests that we extend love are to others, seeing everyone, even strangers, as a part of ourselves. She suggests that we affirm often, you are a part of me I do not yet know. To extend that thought to other people, there's casting a positive spell. You are a part of me I do not yet know. Being willing to do that in powerful and profound ways. And she says this involves cultivating wonder and curiosity about those who are different from us. That immediately begins to break these spells we get caught up in of judgment and hatred. So extending love to others, extending love to our opponents. This falls directly in line with the great teacher Jesus, who said that we should love our enemies as ourselves. Our opponents, she says, are those that we disagree with, or even those who we feel are actively harming us. Not to condone their actions, but to understand their underlying wounds and work towards systemic change from a place of love. That's Valerie. She is the manifestation of that in form. Absolutely a woman of love and power who's out in the world making a difference to the systems of oppression that we might see going on, and doing so with great love versus anger and judgment and toxicity. Powerful. And then she says the 3rd way is to ourselves. Practicing self-compassion, tending our own wounds, and allowing ourselves to rest and find joy, to avoid burnout and sustain the work of love. To extending love to ourselves, to heal, to release and forgive and be free. And I will add a little shameless plug here for some work I was honored to do. The Science of Mind magazine, which has been in publication since 1927, has these daily guides for every day of the month. And in August, I wrote the 31 guides. Thank you. And they're all about self-love. 31 days of loving yourself. So if you're struggling to love yourself, you can get the magazine in our store. You can subscribe to it online and get a copy of it there and have it online. But it's an opportunity for 31 days to focus in on loving and honoring ourself. And so it's a powerful, powerful thing to extend love in these ways. And it's very spell-busting to do it, to make a commitment to it and live this way. My good friend Claudia Milner, who's been, I've known her since we were in high school together at Pomona High School, and she's a practitioner here at Mile High. She posted a reel on her Facebook page one day, and it had an amazing and major impact on me with regards to this spell. And it really called me to look deeply at how I might be existing in the world. And I want to share the reel this morning. We're not going to play the reel, but we're going to show some pictures from the reel. It was posted actually on Instagram by Christina Kuzmic, who's an international social media star, comedian, author, and entrepreneur. She was discovered by Oprah Winfrey, and she's got like 1 million followers. She's a pretty prolific producer of content. And I want to thank Lindsay Portencaso, our art and design creative manager, because she put these photos together. So these photos, this whole reel is called 20 Minutes Earlier. So there's 3 sets of photos. The first photo is a photo of a woman, and it actually is Christina, with a little boy in like a sandwich shop. And the little boy is having a major meltdown. And she's trying to control him, and she's trying to talk him out of his little meltdown. And she's saying, it's okay, we're going to get you a treat. Come on, let's get you a treat. And then there's 2 ladies you can see in the picture who are standing at the cash register, a younger woman and an older woman. And the older woman turns to the younger woman and says, great, Kid has a big meltdown, and parents these days offer a treat. That's really, really great, and she's very judgmental. And then the picture goes to 20 minutes earlier, and you see the woman with the little boy in an office, and she's talking to another woman who's saying, we're really grateful that you're willing to provide a foster home for this young little boy. He's been severely abused, and you'll be his third foster home. And the woman says to the little boy, let's go get some food, honey. I'm going to take you home. It's going to be okay. We'll get you a special treat. And then the next picture, the next set of pictures is a picture of a woman in a parking lot, and she's getting out of a white car, and she's walking in, and as she's walking in, another woman is passing by and says, nice sports car. And the young woman says, oh, yeah, thanks. And they go into the store together, and they end up in line checking out, and the young woman is checking out, and she says to the cashier, do you take food stamps here? And the other woman who saw her with the sports car says, great. You've got a sports car out there and you're mooching off the government? That's just great. And then it goes to 20 minutes earlier, where the woman with the food stamps has left her young son with a friend who says, I'll take care of your boy. You borrow my car and go get your grocery shopping done. And the third one really touched my heart, because I can say sometimes I have been a little bit guilty of this one. I confess I like to drive fast. So this one really got me. It's a picture of a man in a white car, and he's driving his white car, and there's a man in a red car behind him, and the white car is driving kind of slow, and he's a little bit challenged in the lanes, and so the guy in the red car is yelling at him, hey, can't you at least drive the speed limit? And oh, look at him, he's having a big fit, and he speeds past the guy in the white car, and he yells at him and says, you need to drive better out the window. You're doing horribly. And then it cuts to 20 minutes earlier as the man in the white car is holding his wife's hand, and the doctor saying, I'm sorry, we couldn't save her. We tried everything. And the man in the white car says, how am I going to tell my kids their mother died today? And he's driving home to tell his kids. And then it ends with some pictures of some words that I leave for us today to consider. You don't know what someone else is dealing with. Be kind. We don't know. See, the spell of hatred and judgment, it takes us over at times. And we cast all sorts of perceptions and ideas about each other, and we don't know the pain someone is going through. We don't know the conditions that they might have faced just 20 minutes ago. So if we don't know, why don't we choose just to be kind? Why do we choose over and over again judgment and animosity and hatred even? Words of hate and anger and frustration and all of that stuff that we cast upon each other. How could we change this world if we just said, I'm going to choose to be kind. No matter what someone else does today, I'm going to choose to be kind. I'm going to choose to act from the love that lives within me and always be as kind as I possibly can. What have we got to lose by doing that? See, I would say we've got lots to lose by continuing to be under the spell of anger and hatred and judgment. But we've got more to gain than we could ever imagine by becoming willing to be kind and loving, to extend loving kindness to each other at all times, no matter what. It's a challenge. And skeptics would say, oh, come on. How do I be loving when that's going on? Or how do I be loving towards that person when they're such a blah, blah, blah? How do I do that? And I say we dig deep and we make a choice, just like I said in the beginning. My husband Ken and I have been watching that series, The Chosen, recently, that's based on the life and teachings of Jesus. And it's a really beautifully done series. And I think I know the Gospels fairly well. I'm not an expert or anything, but I see something in the Gospels that they've brought really to life. And it is some about what Annalisa was singing about earlier. There are so many times when Jesus is standing before his apostles. And of course, they're in a period of time where they're being oppressed by the Romans, and they're even being oppressed by their own Jewish rabbis. rabbis who think Jesus is a joke and think Jesus is being sacrilegious and challenging him at every viewpoint. And often when the challenge comes up, the apostles are going for their swords. I'll save you, Lord. And Jesus is like, dudes, cut it out. Put your swords down. Over and over again. And then towards the end, as he's getting towards the end, you can see the look on his face, and I can totally imagine Jesus going, I keep telling you people, kingdom of heaven, love, come on. And he's like exasperated that they're not getting it. And sometimes I think we can sometimes look around at each other and go, come on, love has got to be the way. Now, one could argue that when Jesus went in and destroyed the temple and had that temper tantrum in the temple, that he maybe wasn't so loving. One could argue he'd fallen into his human experiences. And I just know that if one does argue that, one likely will get kicked out of catechism. But in watching the series, I've seen really clearly, and Ken and I have talked about it, Jesus knew what his path had to be. And his first act to really become rebellious, to walk down the path of his death and resurrection, was the turning over of that temple. As the rabbis were watching, as the Sanhedrin were watching, as the Romans were watching, he had a plan. And so I could see the value in it. But all along, this great teacher was inviting us to consider love. So even some of us who are skeptical right now, hearing these words going, oh, prayers and love, there they go again. It works. Think about it this way from a spiritual standpoint. I've been really blessed recently to read some works by Paul Selig. And he has this chapter in one of his books about love that I've read it over and over again. And one thing he says that I really resonate with, he says, here's the deal. We get righteous, we get judgmental, we make people wrong, and it's like we put them on this island of wrongness. And we put them out of the realm of our love. I can't love them because they, bleh, whatever it is. Not lovable, horrible human being. Put them on the island. But here's the thing. Oneness, you can't escape it. You just can't. Science is even telling us where quantum entanglement indicates that today we've been here at church together and we will forever be with each other at the molecular level. We can't escape each other. And the minute we put anyone on that island, we're there too. We don't get the benefits of oneness and love. We don't get to feel it because we're putting some other human being out there on the island. We've admonished them to the island. They're on the island of my judgment and my make wrong, and therefore, so am I. Because wherever I put someone else, I go there too. So it becomes then a question of, how do I encounter every human being on this planet and somehow find a way to keep them on the island of love with me? Doesn't mean I have to agree with everything, just like Valerie said. I don't have to condone and agree with everything everyone does. But I can do so with love. Love is the way. And it breaks the spell of judgment and hatred. And it brings us back into oneness. The second spell that I invite us to consider this week, healing and letting go of, is the spell of fear. Fear having its way with us. Fear and anxiety at the core of our being rising up. I love what the great comedian Jerry Seinfeld quipped about this. He said, studies tell us that human beings' number one fear is public speaking, and number two is death. So he surmises that means if any of us have to go to a funeral, we'd rather be the one in the coffin than the one giving the eulogy. Fear definitely can have its way with us. It can capture us. And yet, rising out of fear and letting go of fears, we can find, some of us say, well, how can I not be afraid? How can I not be afraid? And what I think happens is when we rise out of this fear, what we give way to, the spell we let go of is the spell of fear for the spell of trust and faith in my own inner guidance. I begin to recognize that I'm always guided to where I am supposed to be. Always guided. I feel sad for people who let fear run their life in certain areas. One example for me is that I love to travel and see the world. That's why I like taking people on cruises. We're going on an eclipse cruise next year if you want to come with us. We're traveling and seeing the world. And some people say, I can't get on an airplane. I don't want to get on. I'm too afraid to fly. And I have decided I am not going to let fear lead me like that. For gosh sakes, if my way of stepping off the earth plane is to die in a plane crash, I will go down happy because I was on my way to Europe or wherever I was on my way to. But I'm not going to let fear rule the day. But at the same time, I'll listen to my guidance. And so I have said to my innermost self, if I'm ever not to get in that car or get on that plane or jump out of that plane or whatever it is I decide to do, if my guidance says not to do it, I will listen. I won't do it then. If it's not my time, I will listen. Now, it's only happened once, but it was pretty profound. A few years ago, I returned from a trip to Oregon and discovered that the people I had been with, a number of them had come down with COVID. And while I was in Oregon, I got calls from the hospital that my father was gravely ill in the hospital in Florida. And so my wonderful husband made plans so that when I got back, as soon as I got back from Oregon, we were getting on a plane and we were heading to Florida. And so we had a little time the day I got back to repack and do something different and get ready to go. And we were kind of wandering around. But the first thing in the morning, I started getting this message, don't get on that plane. And it kept coming up, and I'd push it away. I got to go see my dad. He's dying, for God's sakes. Don't get on that plane. Do not get on that plane. And so Ken had really worked hard to get these tickets, and I was a little bit nervous, but I finally said to him, honey, I'm hearing an inner voice. It's saying that I'm not supposed to get on the plane. And to his credit, he said, okay, let's cancel though. We're canceling the plane. So he canceled, and we didn't go. The next day, I came down with COVID. If I had gone on that plane, I would have exposed all the people on the plane to COVID. I would not have gotten to visit my father in the hospital because they wouldn't let me in with COVID. And I would have been stuck in Florida for God knows how long, somewhere until I got over the COVID so I could fly home. So my guidance won out. My father did pass away while I was sick with COVID. And I was pretty sad about that and had some guilt about it until later on I realized my inner voice also said, you know your father, he would have hated it, you standing over him watching him die like that. He would have hated it. He would have been so angry with me that I did that I showed up at all, healthy or not, because he wanted to be in peace and quiet and on his own. I was guided. It wasn't fear. And so when I approach things in life, I want to be fearless. I want to have faith. I want to live a life that's full and active and filled with adventures and possibilities. I don't want fear to win out. Fear winning out with connecting with human beings. Fear winning out with going and doing things I love and that I feel excited to do and passionate to do. Fear winning is not acceptable to me. There's no way that I want to get to the end of this life and say, well, I listened to my fears, and so I played it safe. No. I want to find my corner of the sky. I want to live full out. I want to have faith and learn to listen to my guidance. For gosh sakes, if my guidance is on board and tells me something, I'll listen. But until that moment comes, I'm walking my path, full out, casting that spell of fear away. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, says, no fear can remain where faith holds sway. Faith reunites us with the original creative spirit, the divine mind, which already exists at the center of our being. This kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of wholeness, is within. This is the kingdom we are searching, this kingdom of heaven. It's wholeness, it's joy. And when we discover it, it casts out the spells of fear and hatred and judgment and reunites us with our joy. I love the Harry Potter series, and one of the things that I loved about Harry Potter and the book and the movies is there's this point where one of the professors, Professor Lupin, is trying to teach the kids not to be afraid of things. And so he has this thing called a Bogart. And what he does is the kids stand in line and the little Bogart comes out and it manifests as the thing the child is most afraid of. And for one of the main characters, Ron Weasley, he hates spiders. He's afraid of spiders. And so this big old spider comes out, and then he tells him to take his wand, and he casts a spell. It's called ridiculous. Let's see how she spells that. Ridiculous. And when he says ridiculous, the spider suddenly gets roller skates and kind of is flailing around and causes Ron to start laughing. I sometimes, as a strategy, approach some of my fears like that. Ridiculous. How could I see that thing that I think I'm so horribly afraid of and allow myself to experience it as something filled with joy versus filled with pain versus something that stops me in my tracks? This is what we can be in receivership to. And today we're inviting ourselves to break the spell by being in greater receivership of love and joy. That is the stuff that the divine feminine is made of. And we allow ourselves to take that in and to resonate with that more than we do our fears, our judgments, our hatred. We allow ourselves to take that in. And so we're going to close now with Reverend Zamira, and Laura is going to sing. Reverend Zamira is going to lead us in a process of accessing that sweet, divine, feminine, joyous presence as Laura sings about it. So we invite you to take a deep breath and to step into this holy, sacred space.
So now, beloved beings, I invite you on a journey with me into a moment of sacred stillness. As we emerge from the spells of disconnection and fear, judgment, and hatred, we awaken to that deeper bloom of our awareness. Let us open together to that presence of the divine feminine, that ancient, eternal essence that invites us not to strive, but rather to surrender. This white rose is a symbol of the garden. It's a symbol of our blooming in surrender to a deeper and deeper embodiment of the feminine divine. This space that is not outside of us, but within. This morning I offer you this simple practice to surrender to the sweetness of your life, to surrender into the unknown, into the longings, even into your worries, just allowing all to soften your heart rather than hardening your grip. As I share this prayer of a remembrance from Megan Dawn, I invite you to imagine how you might surrender even more deeply, more fully into trust, more freely into the mystery that already holds you. And allow the words to wash over you and hold them in your heart. I seek my remembrance of a deeper way, a way where my soul will know its respectful nature. I will bow down in honor from where it has come, and to where it is going. I will remember long before time and beyond all space. I will remember the Creator, who is the uncreated one. And I will know that I too am one and the same. For this, I surrender all that I am, and I open to my splendor of what is.
I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. I fall into the arms of love. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. In the name of your event on August 13th. Use the microphone maybe. Into the garden.
Into the garden with the divine feminine, an interfaith journey.
An interfaith journey. Beautiful. You can get your tickets for that at the event center or online today. It's going to be a beautiful event with Zamira continuing with more of this beautiful process and Laura singing. So it's going to be wonderful music. So thank you for that, for sharing that with us. Our ushers are coming forth, and I'd like to invite us to consider sharing our good today through tithes and offerings. And those of you online can give on our online platform. The best and most generous gift that I ever saw happen in a church came from my little 5-year-old nephew, little redheaded boy named Jaden one day. He came up when I was in my church in Arizona, and he took his little sweaty palms and he put 3 cents in my hand that he'd taken out of his piggy bank, all the money he had in the world. And I said, "Honey, why are you giving me this money for the church?" And he said, "Oh, Auntie Shell, I love my church, and I want this church to always be here for me and anyone else." Those 3 pennies meant the world to me and to our church. I wanted to frame them and put them up. And I share that story today because I'm so grateful for all the gifts that every one of us gives. And every gift counts. Every time we circulate financial good, we give, we share hugs, we serve, anything we do that uplifts this place, it uplifts our lives. As I know it uplifted Jaden's life to give those 3 pennies. I know it uplifted my heart and it uplifted our church. All gifts matter. So thank you. You matter. The gift of you matters, and the gift that you circulate now matters. So please say with me our affirmation of truth. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. If you're able and you would like to get up on your feet and move around, I think this song is a spell breaker. Bring it into every cell of your body. Look around you. Here we go. Sing along if you know it. Here we go. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People done gone crazy. People done gone mad. People done forgot the superpowers we all have. We were born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate and look for the good in everyone and celebrate all our mistakes. If there's a silver lining, you still have to find it, find it. Look for good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone needs sunshine. Everyone needs rain. Everyone is carrying around some kind of pain. I see who you are. You're just like me. I see you're searching for a purpose, guided by a dream. I see who you are. I'm just like you. I get lost sometimes and I forget what I came here to do. I keep on trying. When it gets frightening, look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone.
And Elise, thank you. And Lauren, and oh my gosh, the band. Only at Mile High, huh?
Yeah.
And I acknowledge this beautiful woman. That was a great message.
Thank you. Thank you very
Great
much.
message.
Thank you.
So I want to just acknowledge all of you. If you're here for the first time, please know we welcome you and hope you come back again and again. I'll be out in the lobby if you have any questions. And also, our practitioners are coming forth. We spoke about it as Practitioner Month. And so if prayer is calling to you, you don't have to have a problem. It could be you just stand in front of them and receive the grace. So please make yourself available.
I need to apologize to my husband because I'm going to ruin our paycheck next weekend. There's a car show here at Mile High Church. So I'll probably have to buy a car or two. If you want to come and... Oh, okay. He says, we may argue over who gets to buy the car. Okay. If you would like to join us, our BHS group, Business Honoring Spirituality, is sponsoring a car show next Saturday right here on the campus. There's going to be a number of beautiful cars, and what's the thing with all the food and stuff out there? The farmer's market. Yeah, the farmer's market is still here. So it's a great day to come and wander around next Saturday here and see beautiful cars and watch me spend my husband's money. It'll be awesome. And I want you to also know that the choir is singing at the Rockies game, where we're going to defeat those Dodger guys. I mean, Reverend Josh really likes the Dodgers, but we Coloradans love our Rockies. And so our Mile High Choir is singing the national anthem, and they're allowing me to sing with them, so I'm really excited about that. You can get your tickets online. We have a block of seats, and we hope you'll join us, and we can all sit together and have fun. And Reverend Casey has started her wonderful class on mindful movement. It's between services every Sunday in August. Today was the first one, so you can join her in the community center. Come a little bit early next week and be with her for that. Please stand now for the benediction and peace song. So please say after me, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is all that I am. Love is how I live. I am so blessed. Thank you, life. And so it is.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To live each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free.